Alright, this is section 5.4, part 1. We're going to talk about standard form. As you can see right here, the standard form that we're going to have is a number in front of x plus a number in front of y equals a number all by itself. Alright, so whenever you hear standard form, it's going to be x plus y. X and y are going to be on the same side. Okay? And the benefit of using a standard form equation when looking at a line is the standard form can help you identify where the line's going to cross the y-axis, all right, and where a line's going to cross the x-axis, all right. So by doing that, to find out where the y-intercept is or where it crosses the y-axis, you can put a 0 in for x. And what that does is when you put the 0 in for x, it only leaves you with whatever numbers in front of y equals c. And then you can solve for the y and we can find where it crosses the y-axis. Same with the x-axis. If I put in a 0 for the y, I can see that what's left for the x and where it crosses the x-axis. So we're going to take more notes on this in a little bit, probably at the end. Okay, but let's dive right into the standard form and using the 0 and for both the x and the y, and see where it crosses the y-axis and the x-axis. Okay, so here's some examples at the bottom, and we're going to try to find where this line crosses the y-axis and where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, so if we want to see where it crosses at the y-axis, we're going to make x 0, and we could use the big finger method, okay? So if x is 0, 0 times 4, that's gone. I'm left with 6y, right? So if I put in 0 for x, 4 times 0, that's gone. So now I'm just left with 6y equals 12 over here. Well, if I want to find out my y value, I solve for y. Leave me alone, times 6, right? How do I get rid of that times 6? So y is all by itself. Opposite of times is divide. Well, what is 12 divided by 6? It's 2. So my y would be 2. So it's going to cross at 0, 2. My y-intercept, or the b, or the from before, is at 2. All right, so now I want to find where it's going to cross this x-intercept. So what I got to do now is make y 0. Well, 6 times 0 is 0. So I can use my finger, I got big fingers here, but if you look right, too big. Still too big. All right, so I got 4x equals 12. All right, so if y is 0 and that's gone, I'm left with 4x equals 12. All right, so leave me alone, times 4. How do I want to solve for x? I want to see what x is going to be. So opposite of times 4 is divide. Whatever you do to one side, got to do to the other. So you know the 4's cancel out. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So at positive 3, 0, is where it's going to cross the x-axis. So standard form pretty much lets us know where our line is going to cross the y-axis and the x-axis. So if I use a ruler, like right here, I can draw my line from the standard form that I was given. So here's my a plus ax, 12 is my b, y equals 24 was my c, right? So if x is 0, this is gone. Whoop. Right? If x is, so now I'm left with 12y equals 24. All right? So now solve for y, and then we'll get our spot right here where it crosses the y-axis. So leave me alone, times 12. Do the opposite. Opposite of times 12 is divide by 12. 12's cancel out. Y, 24 divided by 12, y is 2. So it's going to cross the y-axis at 2. Now, if y is 0, that's gone, right? If y is 0, I'm left with, oh, that was a negative 12. So, this is going to be a negative 2. Sorry, my finger was so big it covered up the negative part. So, it should be down here. So, watch your signs. All right, watch your signs. And now if we look right here, now I'm left with, if y is 0, 12 times 0, that's all gone. So I'm left with 8x equals 24. All right, leave me alone, times 8. I want to see what x is by itself. Opposite of times 8 is divide. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So x is 3. So 1, 2, 3. All right? Euclid says anytime you have 2 points, you can connect them. When you connect 2 points, you get a straight line. So there's my standard form using the intercepts. Let's do one more together. So if x is 0, remember the number in front, that's my a, x, the number in front here, 10 is my b, and that's my y equals c. So if x is 0, negative 6 times 0, that's gone. So I can cross that out. I'm left with 10y. This is a positive 10y. So 10y equals 30. Well, leave me alone, times 10. Opposite of times is divide. 30 divided by 10, my y is 3. So it's going to cross at 3. Now, if I make y 0, y 10 times 0 is 0, that's gone. I'm left with negative 6x equals 30. So leave me alone, times negative 6. You can divide both sides by negative 6. 30 divided by negative 6 is negative 5. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Euclid says whenever you have 2 points, connect them and you have a line, a straight line. All right, there you go. So there's an example of how to use standard form to find where it crosses the y and x axis to make a line. So as you can see on the back, there's a lot of practice, okay? So first what you have to do is substitute the 0 in for x. So you'll be left with 3y equals negative 6. Solve for y. Then put the 0 in for y. You'll be left with 2x equals negative 6. Solve for your x value, okay? So you're going to practice that on the back as soon as you need help, as soon as you're lost. Call me over and I'll help you out. All right, great. Take care.